Hello,
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 hello.
hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode of our
Of
live stream.
yes,
And not on Tuesday, but a Monday.
but it's a live stream.
But it's a live stream indeed. If you're on, please say hello on the chat. Let us know that the video and sound quality is to your liking. And then we'll get into a very specific and powerful topic today that I am very much looking forward to diving into because I think it's key. So if you're on, find the way to the chat.
Yes. Okay.
Hi,
Here we
Biwi.
go.
How are
Hi, hi.
you?
Nice to see you.
Hi. Can you see us and hear us okay? Just give us that go ahead, and then I'm planning on getting right into it. So let us know in the chat. Hi, William. The sound is perfect. Hi, Anna.
Excellent.
Perfect. Okay, let's go.
Let's
So
go.
today is going to be a different format in terms of the live stream. And also, if you're listening to this as a podcast only, I recommend that you listen, but also find the live stream because we want to deliver a very specific message that is key in order to really understand what's going on. And you'll see the format is a bit different, but it will be powerful because it will be sharp and the point will hit home very nicely.
Yeah. The purpose is to make you, regardless of which side of who do you support, Israel, free Israel, or free Palestine?
Right.
Because the actual view should be most of the people say free Palestine,
Mhm.
but actually Israel is at siege.
Is that siege?
Yeah.
How so?
Because Israel been attacked for 20 years all the time.
Surrounded by enemies.
Israel is
Yeah.
surrounded by Arab countries, and within it, it has this Gaza Strip that shooting inside as well.
Mhm.
So,
So who's really?
who do we need to free? We need to free Israel.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
You know,
From the oppression from day one.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like if you think about the numbers of what's if you look at numbers, Israel is about I think about 400 or 500 times smaller than the US,
Mhm.
which means that everything that happened in Israel, if it would happen in the US, it would be 500 times more.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if there is 200 people that got kidnapped from Israel, it means that some Mexican will come and will kidnap, let's say,
10,000.
2 times 500 is 1,000,
Yeah.
10,000, 100,000 people.
Yeah. Unreal.
100,000 people, out of them, 800,000 children, women.
Yeah. It's the numbers.
The numbers are crazy.
Proportionally is unbelievable because Israel
Yeah.
is so tiny.
Yes.
So yeah.
And then people says, but Israel is too like using too much force. It's the use of force is disproportional.
Mhm.
Let's have a look. 3,000 people killed in the 9/11.
Mhm.
The US wiped Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah.
More or less 400,000 innocent civilian got killed. 400,000 innocent people get killed, and this is for one attack.
That was just for the retaliation against 9/11.
One attack.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
something do not make sense, and I want to show why it doesn't make sense. How come that it happens, and what the world doesn't know? Because I can promise you that what I'm going to show you, 99.999% of the Arabs don't know, and the Israelis don't know,
Mhm.
and I think that even the Israeli government doesn't know,
Yeah.
and that's why people act stupidly.
Yeah. And they change their
both
course.
sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both sides act stupidly.
Yeah.
The stupidity from the side of those people that support the Hamas, and I'm not talking about the Palestinians, that's a different story. Support the Hamas, not the Palestinians. Separate between the people
Mhm.
that held hostage by the Hamas.
Mhm.
So the Palestinians are we need to free Palestinians actually,
Yeah.
not free Palestine, because they're held hostage by the Hamas,
Right.
like Israel.
Right. True.
So,
Yeah.
you know that I don't know if you know, but the Hamas build rockets launchers within houses of people,
Mhm.
within hospital, within mosques. So if they shoot at the Israel and Israel see, it's coming from that mosque, but it's a mosque, you cannot do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So someone shoot at you, and because he's shooting from a mask, you cannot shoot back at him.
Yeah, and they on purpose establish themselves that way, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so let's get into it
Yeah.
in this very specific format. So what's the first thing that we want to
Okay, so the first thing that we
go
want
through?
to do is I'm going to show the presentation here. And the presentation, I will go through that presentation. It will help us to just keep the structure. Okay, so here we go. This is the presentation, and here we go.
Yeah, so the first thing is what leads people's actions. So anybody's actions, no
Anyone
matter
action.
what they are, what leads someone to do anything,
So,
right?
and basically, first of all, I want to see people that listening. What do you think leads people action?
Yeah, I think that that's very key, that people actually interact and have a look. What leads somebody's actions
What
to...
do you think leads actions of people? Like,
Yeah.
have a look for yourself. What leads your action?
Yeah.
If you help your wife, why do you help your wife? If you fight with your wife, well, that's normal. But
Right, anything, right?
Anything.
From making breakfast
Yeah.
to
What leads
why
your
would somebody
action?
shoot a rocket, right?
Yeah.
It's any action. What leads people's actions? Let's have a look at that. And as the answers come, I'll read them. But I think let's get into it.
What do you think leads people action? Write in the chat. What do you think leads people action? It's really key to understand it, because once you really get that, things will start to make sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I see that we have too many answers. I cannot just read all
Yeah,
of them.
it's hard to keep up.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So what leads? Two things. Number one is insanities. Number one is insanities, which is false purpose. False purpose is a purpose that you think that it's yours, but it's not. And we will explain it exactly, and we will show how do you find it.
Yeah.
And number two is an actual purpose.
Yeah.
So you have people that can be the same person. People are basically good, but they are moved by two different forces. One, it's a false purpose, and one is a purpose. Okay, so far so good?
Absolutely. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Now, a conflict is only two opposing purposes. A conflict is two opposing purposes. I have purpose number one, I'm Israeli, and you are Hamas. There are two opposing purposes.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you need? So the question is,
how do you know if you're dealing with a false purpose or purpose?
yes,
That's the question.
how do you know if it is false purpose or purpose? Because purpose you should support,
Yeah.
and false purpose you should cure. You should show the person that is actually operating on false purpose, and definitely don't support.
True.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So here we go. False purpose is based almost entirely on the past, while purpose is based almost entirely on the future. False purpose is you did something to me, and now I'm going to attack you,
Right.
because of what you've done in the past. Not because I want to achieve something into the future, but because you've done something in the past.
Right.
And you'll see that any conflict that doesn't get resolved is because someone has a false purpose.
Yeah.
He wants to do something based on the past. And anytime that someone succeeds, he has a magnet to go forward.
Yeah.
So purpose has a push you as a magnet forward, and false purpose push you as a magnet backward.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a big distinction, because you can see what's going on right now in the Middle East. Is their focus forwards or backwards?
Exactly.
Right?
Is it a false purpose or not? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's have a look. Now, false purpose promotes and is directed by a concept, ideology, belief, and considered the result as secondary.
Yeah.
So I have a belief. I'm Jewish, and I believe that the only thing that's important is God. And I just work God. Now, I'm not against it, by the way, yes?
Sure.
But
yeah.
if this is the only thing, I have nothing, the result is secondary. What's important is my belief.
Yeah.
This is what's happening in any kind of a cult. You have kind of policy, kind of a belief, And what's important for you is the belief, is the ideology, is the concept, but not the result.
Exactly.
So if I'm, for example, let's say I'm extreme Muslim or extreme Jewish or extreme, I don't know,
Any
anything, any
over
religion,
history, throughout time.
any one of those things that you just believe, or you just believe that your wife is bad,
Mhm.
regardless of proofs. You just believe that your wife is bad, or you
Mhm.
just believe that your partner is cheating you. It's
Yeah.
just a belief, it's not real, or you just feel that they are.
Yeah.
You will see that every time you use feeling, you will fail, because feeling says what's important is my feeling, is not the result. My feeling, how I'm living life, I decide what I want the result, and I make my feeling good about that, the action that brings about that result.
Yeah.
So I'm not a slave to the feelings. Okay.
That's amazing. It's an
Yeah.
important lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, purpose, on the other hand, is quite amazing. Let me
Yeah.
move that thing around. Here we go. So you can actually see. Oops. No, you cannot. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Oh, no.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
I will just read it.
if we
Yes.
can just turn off our camera for a moment and then we'll
Okay.
turn it
Fine.
back on.
Okay. No.
Adjust our camera on now so you can.
Yeah. It's fine. You can do it.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Now, real purpose says, look, I know I have a goal. I want to be, I want to be a free nation in my land. I
Yeah.
have that goal.
Yeah.
I have that goal.
Yeah.
The purpose is this thing that I'm going to do that will forward the end result, but I have a policy that define what those actions are.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
if my purpose is to be rich, let's say, to
Mhm.
become a wealthy person, if my goal is to become a wealthy person, the purpose is all the action I do. I will do this and I will do that. The reason I'm doing this is this and this and that. But I have a policy that can either say I can do that not ethically or ethically.
Right. That's the guide. That's the difference.
That's the guy. The policy, the purpose define what kind of policy am I going to act? Like, how am I going to act?
Yes, exactly.
So when you have a clean purpose, the policy is about what you want to achieve. And when you have an insane purpose, false purpose, your policy is not there. Your policy is what you believe in, not what you want to achieve.
Mm.
So what directs you is a belief,
Right.
is not what you want to achieve.
Hmm. And so there's actually no guidance
This,
towards that goal, right? And so you go.
there is a policy. You can have my policy is the 10 commandments. Let's take something.
Yeah.
Like. My policy is the 10 commandments. But I just want to keep the 10
Oh,
commandments.
hold on. They lost sound. Sorry, we lost sound, but it's sound back. The sound is back. Okay. If you can tell us how far back you missed us, then, but we can, in a nutshell, repeat just that one concept so that if anybody, yeah, okay. Because that was a minute ago. Okay.
Okay, so the idea is like that. You've got the goal. I want to be wealthy.
Yeah.
Okay. And in order to be wealthy, I need to exchange. I need to help a lot of people. That's the end result.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So to help a lot of people, I have a purpose. I'm going to do different things that will help a lot of people. But I can do those things in many ways.
Yes.
And those many ways is really the covenants, the policies, the things that I'm operating on.
Yeah, your commandments,
Yes,
your
my,
10 commandments.
my 10 commandments. And it can
Yeah.
be, for example, I can do that ethically or not ethical.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means that when you look at those commandments, it will tell you if you are doing something that is pro-survival, if this commandment actually brings about the biggest, the greatest survival to the greatest number of being, people and things, you are on.
Right, exactly.
And if not, you're going somewhere else.
It's an insane purpose.
It's an insane purpose because
Yes.
I'm not trying to help the biggest number of people, the biggest number of things. The only thing I'm trying to help is to prove that I'm Zionist, to prove that I am Muslim, to prove that I'm something.
Yes, 100%.
Because it has to be aligned. You have to have an alignment between your goal, your purpose, your guideline, your 10 commandments, and the end result. And if it's not aligned, you will do an insane actions, totally insane actions all the time. So this is the principle, okay?
Yeah, amazing, amazing.
Okay.
And thank you, Curtis. I understand. Perfect, perfect. That helps.
Okay, great. Now, a conflict is only two opposing purposes. We know that, yes?
Yeah.
And hence, to resolve any conflict, one must understand the purpose of both sides, since otherwise the handling will be only of the manifestation and not of the source of the problem.
Yeah.
So the conflict is only two opposing purposes. You've got the Israelis and you've got the Hamas.
Yes.
And if you understand the purposes, you can decide, okay, I'm going to help these people. I'm going to help that people. And if these two purposes are actual making us good purposes, you can come to an agreement and they both can go to a correct way,
right,
to a pro-survival way. But if one of them has a false purpose, there is a problem. There will not be a solution.
Yes, absolutely.
False purpose can be handled by long-term education, and in the presence of lack of time, it can be handled only by extreme force. And so if one side will have false purpose, either long-term education, because long-term bad education brought this thing about.
For sure.
And if you don't have time, like in time of war, you need extreme force.
Which is what we're seeing right now.
That's correct.
That's the situation.
Purpose, on the other hand, can and should be handled with reason, with logic, and with minimum force.
Agreed.
Okay. The purpose of any group is usually found in its establishment document. The purpose of any group is...
Yeah, there. And it's usually public. It's there. You can find almost any group has something visible that says what it's about.
Any company, any group.
Yes.
The purpose of the Third Reich was written in Mein Kampf. I don't know if you know, but Hitler wrote a whole manifesto about his purpose, and it's in a book that's called Mein Kampf.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, most German, as well as most world leaders, did not read the book before 1933. They did not read the book. And hence, the German people, as well as almost all of the world leaders, could be misled. If they read Mein Kampf, we wouldn't have World War II, we wouldn't have the Holocaust.
Right. And
because they would understand the purpose, the false purpose in that case.
Yes, and it was public and it was available, but nobody looked at it, which is, if you are noticing, is similar to what's going on today.
Because what's happened, Hitler was saying all kind of things. Everyone says, free Germany.
Yeah.
Every idiot said, free Germany.
Yeah.
And you free Germany, and it killed everyone else.
Yeah, 100%.
That's exactly what happened. They were chanting free Germany because Germany had all kind of limitation after World War I, etc.
Yep. Unbelievable.
It's exactly the same. They were chanting free German. There was no internet, but believe me, there was communication lines.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
It's quite amazing. If you read today, Mein Kampf, you said, how come anyone supported? How come anyone closed his eyes when Hitler started to create all kind of problems?
Yeah.
How come the whole world did not come and just
why did no one stop this?
Yes, kill the bastard day one.
Yeah, yeah. And you would say, we need to stop it at all costs.
Exactly, if you understand the purpose. Okay, so let's have a look. Most people that support Israel never read the Israeli establishment document. the declaration of the establishment of the state in Israel, and hence, coupled with an inability to separate purpose versus false purpose, the support of Israel is the result of concept, ideology, belief, and not facts or the expected result. They are simply parroting messages they themselves do not fully understand, and by that hinder the achievement of the purpose they blindly support. So you've got Israel, you've got lots of supporters for Israel, and they don't know exactly what's the purpose of Israel. They never read the establishment document. And so those good people that generally will be sane, what they do, they say, we don't know what's the establishment document of the Hamas, and we don't know what's the establishment and what's our establishment document, but we do buy the story from the government. And the government says that we need to be reasonable towards the Hamas. Every week we get a few hundred missiles or a few tens of missiles, and it's okay, and you just need to be reasonable.
Mhm.
This is
Yeah.
the people that support Israel.
Yeah.
They buy the stupidity because they didn't read the declaration of Israel and they didn't read the declaration of the Hamas.
Yeah.
The same apply to this. The same apply with the other side. Yeah, let me do that. The same apply with the other side. So the Hamas have the same story. Most people that support the Hamas never read the Hamas establishment document. It's called the Hamas Covenant in 1988 and 2017. And hence, coupled with an inability to separate purpose versus false purpose, the support of the Hamas, it should be here, is the result of a concept, ideology, belief, and not facts or the expected result. They are simply parroting message they themselves do not fully understand, and by that, hindering the achievement of the purpose they blindly support. And you can see that every day when we put something online and people just say, okay, Hail Hamas.
Yeah.
It's
the
stupid. Free Palestine, but no actual understanding. You guys killed 300,000 children. Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get that number from?
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually know what's the how Israel works? What's the purpose of Israel? And on the other side, it's the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Israeli says, oh, Palestinians are animals. No, these Palestinians, and on the other end is the Hamas.
Yeah.
And Palestinians are just people that want to live, and they live in a very small, crowded place in an impossible situation.
Right. They're also in tough conditions. So
They're also-
nobody knows the other side.
Nobody knows the purpose, the intention of the other side. And so Hamas can come to Israel with the intention of killing children, with the intention of kidnapping innocent people. 200 innocent people has been kidnapped.
Yeah.
2,000 or more people has been killed. Like, how can you do that? Going with the purpose of burning people? They found an operational document on this guys, on this murderers, not terrorists, murderers from the Hamas, that explained to them how to burn a house, how to behead a head, how to kidnap people, what to do. Like,
Unbelievable.
terrible. So, what is the purpose of Israel? Who knows what's the purpose of Israel, and who knows what's the purpose of Hamas?
Yeah. If anybody on the chat, there's many people watching. If anybody wants to engage and just say in a nutshell, what do you know?
The purpose?
Yeah. What do you know is the purpose of Israel, and what do you know Hamas wants? And
Free Palestine from Hamas.
Yeah. Free Palestine from Hamas. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. But what's the purpose of Hamas? What's the purpose of Israel?
Right.
So what I've done, I went and I took the covenants, read both of them, and I took the main keys. You can go and read the whole thing. It's not long. But what I'm giving you here is copy paste. I didn't change anything. When I defined the word, I put it in brackets. If it's in brackets, it means that I defined the word. That's all. Okay?
Yeah, amazing.
So we've got Hamas versus Israel.
By the way, Shaked said purpose of Israel is to have a country that will welcome all Jews.
Okay.
Good. Let's see.
And not accurate. It's very partial. So let's look. The Hamas. The goal of the Hamas, this is from their own documents. It's not something I said.
Yeah.
The Islamic resistance movement is a distinguished Palestinian movement whose alliance is to Allah, God, and whose way of life is Islam. It strives to raise the banner of Allah over every inch of Palestine.
Mhm.
So the goal is that all of that area that called so-called Palestine will be Allah, will
Yeah.
be not you not to have any kind of a situation where you can have Jewish people practicing Judaism, but they want every inch of Israel to become Islam,
Mhm.
to be controlled by the law of Islam, the Shia.
Yeah.
This is according to
Yeah.
them, not me.
Now, it says here, William said screen is blurry. Can you guys see in general what that says? And while I ask that and you type the answer, Rushina says, I think it would be easier to define Zionism first, as the purpose of Israel is probably aligned with that.
Yeah, I think that if you, because you I assume that the purpose aligned with that, because you assume that the purpose is aligned with that, then, so I'm not going to define anything other than normal English words, and I'm going to just read what it says, and you make your own view, okay? Now, Israel, on the other hand, I'm just taking one at a time. Yes, one,
Yes, yes,
one.
100%.
Israel, on the other hand, it starts like that. On the 29th of November, 47, a United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution calling for the establishment of the Jewish state in Eretz Israel. Eretz is the land of Israel. The General Assembly required the
Inhabitants.
inhabitant of Eretz Israel to take such steps as were necessary on their part for the implementation of that resolution. This recognition by the United Nations of the right of the Jewish people to establish their state is irrevocable. And again, you can think about it whatever you want. This is the fact. I'm just reading. I'm not giving an opinion here. Okay, the Hamas, on the other hand, on the destruction of Israel. Israel will exist and will continue to exist until Islam will obliterate it just as it obliterated others before it. It's in the preamble. I'm not saying if it's good or bad. I'm just saying confront, read. No opinion, no parroting of some PR message that you heard. Zionists are bad, good is are bad. No. I'm just reading what they said. If you don't understand English, I will help you with the words, with the definition of the words. But if you do understand English, it's black on white. Now, Israel, the right is the to do with opinions, okay?
כאילו, it was blocking
זה לא
the
מפריע,
bottom.
זה לא מפריע לי.
Okay, סבבה.
לא מפריע, לא לגעת.
Okay. Can you hear us now? How's the sound now? It should be back. Let us know if you can hear us. Okay, just a moment.
I think it's something to do.
It should be back now, as far as I can see. Back again. Okay, good.
Okay, great. So
Here we
let's
go.
continue to read. The exclusive Muslim nature of the area. The land of Palestine is an Islamic wakaf. Wakaf is a holy possession. It's a possession that gave it to you by the religion. It's a holy possession. It's not something that they believe that has something to do with anything other than holy possession. Conscripted for the future of Islam, generation of the sorry, let me reread it. Islamic Waqf constricted for the future Muslim generations until Judgment Day. No one can renounce it or any part or abandon it or any part of it. So according to Hamas, this area that called Palestine, when Israel is, belong to them 100%, unquestionable, and this is actually not belong to them, it's a wakaf. It's something that belongs to the Islamic movement. This is according to Hamas. It's not necessarily according to anyone else. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Israel. The state of Israel will be open for all Jewish immigrants and for the gathering in of the exiles. It will foster the development of the country for the benefit of all its inhabitants. It will be based on freedom, justice, and peace, as envisioned by the Prophet of Israel. It will ensure complete equality of social and political rights to all its inhabitants, irrespective of religion, race, or sex. It will guarantee freedom of religions, conscious, conscious,
Conscience.
conscious language, education, and culture. It will safeguard the holy places of all religions, and it will be faithful to the principle of the Charter of the United Nations. This is what Israel establishment document. Palestine is the Islamic land. Since this is the case, the liberation of Palestine is an individual duty of every Muslim wherever he may be. You get that, okay? This is what they say. The call for jihad, the day or the enemies usrap, which means take over,
Usurp,
usurp part of the Muslim land, jihad become the individual duty of every Muslim. Jihad is basically a word that says it's a holy war. It's a war that has nothing to do with the opinion of states. It's a holy war. You fight for God. You fight for Allah. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And just go and open the dictionary and you'll see that this is basically the dictionary. So, part of the Muslim land, jihad becomes the individual duty. So it's your duty as a Muslim to fight of every Muslim, individual duty of every Muslim in the face of the Jews' disruption, which means unlawful takeover. It is compulsory that the banner of jihad be raised. So it's compulsory, according to them, that every Muslim will go and fight Israel. Compulsory. Israel, on the other hand, the state of Israel is prepared to cooperate with the agencies and representatives of the United Nations in implementing the resolution of the General Assembly of the 29th November 47, and will take steps to bring about the economic union of the whole state of Israel. Hamas. Rent will close, fighters joining other fighters, and the masses everywhere in the Islamic world will come forward in a response to the call of duty, loudly proclaiming hell to jihad. This cry will reach the heavens and will go on being resounded until liberation is achieved. The invaders vanquished and Allah victory comes about. This is the purpose of Hamas. This is black on white. In this case, is green on white.
Yes.
We appeal to the United Nations to assist the Jewish people in the building up of its states and to receive the state of Israel into the community of nations. Rejection of the negotiated peace settlement. So this is also from that covenant. Listen to that. Peace initiatives and so-called peaceful solution and international conferences are in contradiction to the principle of the Islamic resistance movement, is in contradiction to the principles of Hamas. So everyone that's shot stupidly free Palestine basically says, kill all the Jewish.
Yeah, and we don't want peace.
And no peace. There's no peaceful solution according to Hamas. Those conferences are no more than means to appoint the infidels, which mean non-believers, as arbitrators in the land of Islam. There is no solution for the Palestine problem except by jihad. Initiatives, proposal, and international conferences are but a waste of time, an exercise infertility. This is what they write. It's not something that I wrote. Israel, we appeal in the very midst of the onslaught launched against us now for months to the Arab inhabitants of the states of Israel to preserve peace and participate in upbuilding the state of the state on the basis of full and equal citizenship and due representation in all its provisional and permanent institutions. Just look at the different viewpoint.
Totally different viewpoint.
Condemnation of the Israel-Egypt peace treaty. So I don't know if you know, but Israel had a peace treaty with Egypt, and the Hamas think that this is very bad. Egypt was, to a great extent, removed from the circle of struggle against Zionism, yes, through the treacherous Camp David agreement. The Zionists are trying to draw other Arab countries into similar agreements in order to bring them outside the circle of struggle. Leaving the circle of struggle against Zionism is a high treason, and cursed be he who perpetrates such acts. So basically, they tell you, look, the peace with any Arab nation is not an option. It's actually a treacherous action. Israel, we extend our hand to all the neighboring states and their people in an offer of peace and good neighborliness, and appeal to them to establish bond of cooperation and mutual help with the sovereign Jewish people settled in its own land. The state of Israel is prepared to do its shares in a common effort for the achievement of for advancement of the entire Middle East. This is what the establishment document says. Anti-Semitic enchantment. The day of judgment will not come about until Muslims fight Jews and kill them. Then the Jews will hide behind rocks and trees, and the rocks and trees will cry out, "Oh Muslim, there is a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him."
Unbelievable.
Free Palestine.
Yes.
We appeal to the Jewish people throughout
diaspora basically what that means is all the Jews spread out all over the world.
To rally around the Jews of Eretz Israel, which means the land of Israel, in the task of immigration and upbuilding, and to stand by them in the great struggle for the realization of the old age dream, the redemption of Israel. Hamas. The enemies have been scheming for a long time. We have accumulated huge and influential material wealth. With the money, they took control over the world media. With their money, they
they stirred revolution.
Revolution in various parts of the globe. They stood behind the French Revolution, the Communist Revolution, and most of the revolution we hear about. With their money, they formed secret organizations such as the Freemasons, Rotary Club, and the Lions, which are spreading around the world in order to destroy society and carry out Zionist interests. They stood behind World War I, and they formed the League of Nations through which they could rule the world. They were behind World War II, through which they made huge financial gains. There is no war going on anywhere without them having their finger in it. This is their view. This is their view. They really believe it.
And it's published publicly. They hope that everyone reads this, right?
Yes. Zionist schemes has no end. And after Palestinians will covet this, desire something that belongs to others, expansion from the Nile to the Euphrates. So it is the Nile is in Egypt, and the Euphrates River is in Iraq. So they want all of this area. When they have finished digesting the area on which they have laid their hand, they will look forward to more expansion. The scheme has been laid in out in the protocol of the eldest of Zion. So what they basically says is the Zionists going to want to take all of this area. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Israel from its establishment, it took land because the Arabs attacked it and gave it back. Took land and gave it back. And when we gave land back to Egypt, like half of Israel gave back to Egypt, they said that this was a bad peace agreement. So decide, are we going to take all of this area or what is here? Are we confused?
Yeah, it's amazing that there has never been one time that really it's been the other way around.
It's just like stupidity at the
Mhm.
level of unbelievable. The Hamas regards itself the spearhead and the vanguard troops in the forefront of the battle of the circle of struggle against what Zionism. Now, any one of you just go and check what Zionism means and just look how they somehow say that Israel equals Zionism. And if you look at the actions of Israel and the establishment document of Israel and what they say about Zionism, in which they try to say Israel equals Zionism, which I'm not against Zionism, by the way, but it's not. And if you look at that, you'll see that either the Zionism is really, really bad and useless, so there's nothing to worry about, or the Hamas is somehow false purpose.
Mhm.
So, Islamic groups all over the Arab world should also do the same, since they are best equipped for their future role in the fight against the warmongering Jews. Now, Israel never started a war.
Mhm.
Israel never started a war. Go and check. We're the war.
Amazing.
We are the warmongering. Okay.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's backwards. It's really
Yes.
backwards.
Now. You look at that. You look at that. Okay. And I want to ask you, if you look just on these documents, this is my policy, this is the way that I'm going to act, who will you support? Read this document, and I want to see a sane person that say, yes, I'm going to support this guy, that say, after we kill everyone, they will hide behind a rock, and the rock will tell you that they are behind, and you need to kill that person. That's what they've done in Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
They proved it.
exactly what they've done.
Mhm.
They say they don't want peace, and all the people that don't understand really what's happening say, "No, you need to free Palestine." Seriously,
Mhm.
you killed more people. What do you mean you killed more people? If someone will come to the U.S. once and will shoot one missile, not 3,000, 3,000 times 500, how much is it?
Yeah, we're talking
3,000.
300,000.
So no
No,
more. No.
sorry, 100.
3 million.
1.5 million.
If in one day the US will get 1.5 million missiles, do you think that someone will count how many babies they kill?
Mhm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just totally crazy. But Israel was stupid because it didn't read this document.
Yeah.
The Israeli didn't read the document, so they agree with the lies of the government of it's okay, you need to get used to living next to a crazy lion.
Yeah.
Not a lion, because lions are more
Tame.
more lions. If they kill someone, if they is because they're hungry.
Yeah.
Those people went in order to kill innocent people.
That's
There was no other purpose.
Yeah, you don't see a lion killing animals just for the fun of it and leaving them. There's a purpose. And by the way, I think the 3,000 times 500 is 150,000. But even if it was 1,000,
15,000.
even if it was 15 missiles,
Yes. Yes.
what would the US do?
Yes.
It would be savagery.
Yes.
So yeah. By the way, just
Now,
to
now so, no, so,
yeah.
so
Go on, go on, go on.
So Israel was established side by side in 48 with other Arabs, with the Palestinians. So everyone was up to from 1920 to 1948. The area was called Palestine.
Yeah.
And it was called Palestine before. It was actually, the name Palestine comes from Rome. There was Judah. It's Jewish people that were living in Israel area.
Mhm.
and they had a fight with the Romans, and the Roman won, and they said, okay, no more Israel, and they called the whole area Palestine. This is a Roman name. It's not.
Mhm.
There was never people of Palestine. There was never a Palestinian um, um,
Like a
a
nationality.
nationality. Yes,
Yeah, and
there
that's
was.
a big distinction.
Yeah,
Many, I don't think people realize that,
there
that
was
there's
never.
never, ever, not to this day, a nationality called Palestine.
Every single person, Jewish and Arabs, between 1920 and 1948, carried a Palestinian passport.
Hmm.
It was a land, it was a location, not a country.
Hmm.
It was a location that was controlled by Ottoman Empire, and then it was controlled by the British Mandate, and then the UN divided the area equally between the Arabs and the Jews, and the Arabs didn't like it. So in 1948, a day after the declaration of independence of Israel by the UN gave it to Israel. Israel didn't come and take it by force. There was an actual agreement about the division of the land. 7 Arab countries, 250 million people attacked 600,000 people. Unfortunately, to the Arabs, Israel won.
Hmm.
And then there was, and then from 1948 to 67, Gaza and the Palestinian Authority,
Oh, what is
no,
PLO?
no, 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 Gaza and the other side,
The West Bank?
the West Bank, yes.
Got you.
Gaza and the West Bank was controlled actually by Egypt
Mhm.
and Jordan.
Yeah.
So from 48 to 67, Gaza and the West Bank was controlled by Egypt and the West Bank.
Mm.
They
Amazing.
don't want them. They didn't want the Palestinians.
Mhm.
They considered kind of squatters. They considered the troublemaker. And today, Egypt doesn't want the Palestinians also.
Right.
They
Right.
block the border. They don't want them because they're a problem.
Yeah. People
Why?
say, by the way, that Israel blocks the border to Egypt
No, no, Israel
from
did
Gaza,
not.
that
No,
they
no.
blew up the border.
Bullshit. Lie. 100% lie. So there is an actual negotiation right now between the US and Qatar and the other countries try to give Egypt a lot of money to open the border and take Palestinians in, but they don't want them.
Interesting.
They don't want them. Yes.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
they
I mean,
don't-
I get it. I get
why
it,
they
but
don't want them? Because
they're terrorists.
because the whole purpose is not to build the people, is to jihad.
Yeah.
The purpose is not to build the country. The purpose is jihad, is to fight the Jewish people. So 67, the war of 67, Israel won and took over Gaza and the West Bank. After 73, there was the peace accord with Egypt, and Egypt didn't want them back. They said, Israel,
Your problem.
Your problem.
Hmm.
In 2005, Israel realized, you know what? We don't want them. Israel left Gaza, just left Gaza, totally one-sided, left Gaza, gave them everything they wanted. They received money from all over the world and says, look, build your life.
And by the way, there was many Jewish people living in Gaza.
Yes, yeah.
They all left too.
Like
they left their homes.
They
Jewish
left their
people
homes
said,
by the government moved the Jewish people by force from their home, gave Gaza to the Palestinians.
yeah, take it back. It's
Take it
yours
back.
fully. We're not in it.
We're not in it. We don't want.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of money. Instead of building Gaza, they build a whole military force just to fight Israel because they're in a jihad. They don't try to build a country, they try to destroy Israel.
That's their purpose.
Read the document. They're saying it black and white. It's not me. I didn't say that. It's not that I said that this is what I think they think. This is their purpose. If you understand their purpose, you understand why they take all the money, and instead of giving food to all these people that suffer, they take the money, build missiles, build underground tunnels, attack Israel continuously, and refuse to even acknowledge the right of Israel to survive. Up to now, Hamas refused to acknowledge the right of Israel to survive. Why? Because the documents say we need to kill you. So how
Right.
can we acknowledge that?
And despite the majority of the world saying we can. And what I also find interesting is, and you can tell me if this is true, but Israel hasn't tried to take beyond its original land allocation.
No,
So it said the UN said, "This is your land." Israel said, "Thank you.
thank you very much.
I don't need more."
And they, every time they attack Israel, Israel take more land.
Mhm.
And then after Israel take more land, they come back crying babies and say, "Oh, you took me, blah, 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 blah. Give it back." Okay, we give you back 56. We gave you back. We gave you back at 48. We gave you back land at 56. We gave you back land after the 73 war to Sadat. We want peace. Israel want peace.
Mhm.
Israel, if you read the document, we want peace. But you shoot at us and shoot at us and shoot at us and shoot at us for 20 years. At one point, we say enough. And now we're bombing Gaza, and we're telling everyone before we bomb, go out. But the Hamas still prevent its people from going out.
Mhm.
They don't allow them to go out.
Mhm.
They don't allow them to go out.
That's very hard for
ins-
people to believe.
It's insane.
But it's insane.
It's
the insane
insane.
purpose.
So basically, look, they're using the Palestinian people as a human shields.
Mhm.
Why do you think the US standing with Israel? Why do you think Europe stand with Israel? Why do you think everyone stand with Israel? Because everyone realized now that, okay, the Hamas was fighting with Israel for 20 years, shooting each other, whatever, fine. And Israel was saying for many, many years, look, Hamas is a terrorist organization. You call them a terrorist organization. You will not experience it in your country. And the Hamas was lying, actually lying, staging all kind of things that never happened, etc. If you are on the subject, you saw the videos.
Yeah. There's a whole thing called Pallywood. I
Okay,
believe.
yeah, Hollywood. Yes.
Hollywood, which is Palestinian Hollywood. It's a known thing
Yes.
that they do many staged videos. A lot of things that people are sharing online have been proven to be staged. Kids hurt,
Yeah.
buildings destroyed, these photos they take. Anyway, it's all Hollywood.
But fine. But the point is that now the whole world, the whole Western world, everyone that actually have a heart realize those are terrorists, not the Palestinians,
Mhm.
the Hamas.
Yeah.
So if you have any doubt which side to support, always look at the establishment document. And so, regardless of how much fake news you have, regardless of how much lies people put out online, you can read the document and say, are you supporting this kind of a document? You look and read and tell me, yes, I support I support Hamas. If this is what you support, my friend, you have a problem. You are a terrorist. Read the document, and if you support that, you're a terrorist. That's what terrorists do. They bring about terror.
And not only that, but I think that people are starting to realize that it's only a matter of time before it doesn't just happen from Hamas to Israel. People are starting to realize that there's threats on Black people, gay people, the United States, other countries, very visible threats. There's other things in that document that talk about that.
Jihad is jihad. Jihad says every Gentile. And by the way, they say if you actually look at the documents, you will see that they said that first we will fight Jewish people, then Christian, and then the rest of the world. Everyone must become Muslim.
Yeah.
That's jihad. Now support it, please.
Yeah. It's
You ladies that support it, I want to take you 1 week to Iran
Mhm.
or 1 week to Gaza as a lady in Gaza. 1 week. All those free ladies that go with the
Mhm.
beautiful hair and beautiful faces and talk so openly. You understand that according to the Hamas, your place is covered and you don't have an opinion. You have an opinion only when you don't support this kind of insanities.
Absolutely. And it's just another example, aside from this, of the need to actually independently observe. Because I think that this was seen in other situations in COVID and where people just went with the mainstream and
Yeah.
whatever they were fed and parroted it. And now that it's such a black and white thing, there was a murder, there were murders, it was terrorism. People still can't say, let me observe what actually happened. Let me
Yeah.
observe the actual principles behind
And
this.
you know that Hamas says that there was no Holocaust.
Hmm.
Hamas said there's no Holocaust. Hamas said that they didn't kidnap people, yet they just put out this lady video of the one of the ladies that they kidnapped. Yes, Hamas said they didn't kill children.
Hmm.
Hamas said they didn't beheaded people.
Hmm.
Hamas said they are not ISIS, and they are right. They are not ISIS because ISIS was not so brutal. They are right. ISIS was not as brutal as Hamas. ISIS never went into any city and in one day, killed 2,000 people.
Murdered.
Killed, yes, murdered, more correct.
Yeah.
Murdered 2,000 people, injured almost 4,000 people, and kidnapped 200 babies, children, young ladies, old people, anyone that they could. No one went with this intention. There is war, and innocent people get hurt in war. But the intention is never to go into a city and kill the innocent. I've never seen that other than in the Dark Ages,
Hmm.
that you go in and you burn the village.
Right. Yeah.
This is Dark Ages. This is jihad, Dark
Mhm.
Ages. So,
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you a question just before we wrap up here about current events related things, right? So people are saying, and I don't know the exact numbers, but people are saying that now Israel has killed thousands upon thousands of kids, civilians, etc., in Gaza, and is spraying some illegal sprays and blah 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 blah
okay.
blah blah.
If it was correct, it's not correct, yes, but if it was correct, the US says 50,000 times, don't do anything that is not according to the law of war.
Mhm.
Israel operate according to the laws of war. Does innocent people get hurt by mistake? Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
Thousands upon thousands? No, it's a lie because the US will not support it because in earlier times, every time Israel went to defend itself, the first time that some incident happened, that a hospital got hurt or a school got hurt or people got hurt, immediately the whole world stood on its back leg and said, oh, you have to stop.
Mhm.
No one told the US you have to stop. How many people do you think the UK in World War II? How many people the Allies killed in Germany? How many people?
I would think
Innocent
tens
people.
of thousands.
6 million. How many people got killed in the England side? 1 million people.
Mm.
So now it's not proportionate.
Mhm.
I think I think England should have stopped the war because they killed more innocent people than the German.
Mm.
It's stupid. It's only against Israel.
Yeah, I see.
How many innocent people the US killed in Iraq?
Hmm. I have no idea, but I would think
Hundreds of thousands, almost 400,000 people.
Wow, that's
That's Iraq.
yeah.
How many Afghanistan? How many people every war take? The question is not the number.
Yeah.
The question is not the number. The question is the intention. Are you going with the intention to murder people, or are you going to fight those that fight you? And war is a terrible thing, and there is innocent people that get hurt. Israel doing for years this stupid thing that before bombing any building, they send messages. Look, we're going to bomb the building, and still people get hurt. Why? Because the Hamas prevent them from going out.
Yeah, that's
Israel
true.
for weeks telling every area before it's bombing the area, leave the area. The Hamas don't allow those people to leave. And then they cry that people die. Hamas don't care about how many people die. You know, God once says that when the Arabs will love their children as much as they hate Israel, we could start negotiating peace.
Amazing. That's beautiful and true. And why do you say, by the way, that it's stupid that that they first warn before they attack?
Because if you're in a war, if someone when they send missile on Israel, when they go in the street and stab innocent people,
they don't give.
When they come
Yeah.
with a suicide vest, hundreds of times to restaurants, to parties, to buses, not one person in 20 years, hundreds of times. Suicide vest and explode the people. Do they give a warning? Hey, leave the bus.
No, they definitely do not.
Exactly. So why is this thing not?
Yeah.
Now here you come with a suicide vest, and your purpose is to hurt innocent people.
Only. Whereas Israel wants to not hurt innocent people, and they'll only target that area because there are known
for 20
terrorists.
years they stop. Every time Israel went in, they stopped before they killed the Hamas because too many innocent people got hurt. This is war now. This is war. And in war, there are very specific rules. And people get hurt in war. We want peace. Tomorrow we'll do peace.
Yeah.
Hamas, put down your weapon. Put down your weapon. Agree to the Oslo Accord. Agree to the Camp David agreements. Just keep the agreements that you sign. When international force will protect you, and Israel is willing for an agreement. Now, what's the actual handling? The actual handling, if I'm this is something that I wrote to Sharon for many years ago as a handling for this problem. And I said the following. There need to be the following story. Israel says that from now, there is no more attack on Israel. We don't touch you, you don't touch us. You control yourself. You want to go out, go through the sea, go through whatever you want. We don't do anything. Yes? So if you shoot one bullet by mistake, we take 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, and we reduce your size by 1 kilometer. This space is full with mines and automatic machine guns. Anyone that come to this area die. You shoot another bullet, another one missile. For every one missile is 1 kilometer. And we push it. Why? Because regardless of how powerful Hamas is, in order for it to continue doing what it's doing, the people have to agree with them doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, they've been miseducated. Yes, they've been brainwashed. Yes, they're brainwashing the children to kill Jewish people for no reason at all, just because they're Jewish. Yes, they do that. But if you put enough force against this false purpose, against this insanity, they will stop. You don't need to go in. If I was the government of Israel, I would not go in with ground assault. I would just make this law. Every one bullet, every one missile is 1 kilometer. Now let's see. Let's see how long you can continue.
Yeah.
Israel, you can shoot rockets, you can do whatever you want. Everyone, take one area, flatten it, make it into a parking bay, a parking lot.
Yeah.
Flatten it and fill it up with mines and automatic machine guns. And you continue another kilometer, not a problem. You continue another kilometer. You continue another kilometer. Not a problem. As much as you want. We can continue with this game for how many kilometers?
About 42 in Gaza.
42 kilometers. So we've got 40. You've got 42 missiles to send.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's what you want. You will see that they will stop.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I don't hurt anyone. I let anyone know that you've got 48 hours, 2 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks to leave the area. And after this week, this place become a parking lot.
It has to be vicious like that.
It has to be vicious because the only way to fix insanity is by force.
Extreme force.
Extreme force.
Yes. Now, Luke says the new Hamas manifesto document does not contain an explicit call for Israel's destruction.
Have a look and you'll see that they what they say is that the 2017 manifest is not a replacement. Look and read. It's not a replacement.
While the founding charter was filled with anti-Jewish references, the new document stresses that Hamas bears no enmity and probably animosity towards Jews.
No, it's false. It's false because they say that what they're holding to is the first document, and the second document is a proposal that they don't accept. How do we know? By their actions.
True. If that
And
was
that's
true,
what they
that's
say.
true. I
And
suppose their actions.
and that's what they say. That's what they actually say, and I can show you where.
Amazing. Okay. Just a couple more questions before we wrap up. So we have here Mitch. Mayor, great stuff. How would you handle people who say, but Israel wants to commit genocide in Gaza, that they're engaged in apartheid and ethnic cleansing things?
Okay, good. Okay. So first of all, Gaza is its own state.
Mhm.
How can I commit apartheid there? I'm not separating them. Apartheid, it's mean like in South Africa, the government of South Africa or some group in South Africa try to separate different ethnic groups and so on. It's their place. Do whatever you want. They controlling themselves. It's their own government. They collecting tax. They say what's happened. So how can I commit apartheid there? Whoever say apartheid doesn't understand the word apartheid. So again, they are just parroting apartheid. It sounds good. How can I commit apartheid in a place that I'm not controlling? Genocide. If I want to commit a genocide, will I ask you to leave the area before a bomb? And if you come to my country and shoot 1 million missiles on me, I should have committed genocide. This is what the Allies done against Germany.
Yeah.
This is what the US did against Iraq and Afghanistan for 3,000 people.
Yeah. You think about the movie Taken with Liam Neeson, okay?
Yeah.
They kidnapped his daughter.
Yes.
He went and killed every single one of them.
And everybody
everybody
supported it,
supported
yes.
because that's what is necessary for kidnappers. Find them and kill them all.
Yes.
Now,
so stop being.
So now they
stop
came and
being-
kidnapped 200 people, and people say, no, don't be so aggressive back to them.
No. Excuse me. Israel need to be freed from the insanities of the Hamas. Free Israel. That's what should be the message. Because Israel is under attack all the time. Show me one more country. Show me one more country that agreed that every few weeks there will be missiles thrown at them. Show me one more country that agree that every few weeks there will be suicide bomber. Show me one country that the neighboring country get educated to go and stab its citizens, not soldiers, citizens. Show me one country. Show me one country in history that someone went into a city, 22 cities, and just killed all the citizens. Show me one country that it happened and they were like, oh, we understand them. They're hungry. I mean, how stupid, how useless can you be? Never mind. If someone come to your house, and kill one of your children, how much damage are you willing to do? Or you think, oh, no, I'm going to be very civilized. I don't want anyone to get hurt. So if I'm going after him and I shoot him and maybe his wife is in the car, I will not shoot him because his wife might be hurt.
No, exactly.
Come on, stop being useless. Be real.
Yeah, 100%.
All those stupid people that says free Palestine, I really, really don't know what they're talking about. They've never been in a war, of course. The maximum things they've done is click on the keyboard. They never managed to fix their life. Their life is probably 100% destroyed because they cannot confront anything. They can just parrot things.
Yeah, amazing. True, totally.
Useless.
By the way, earlier Lior said the difference between the two, the Hamas and the Israeli charters, is crazy. But what's crazier is that I never read them. And that's amazing. That's really the point,
The
right?
point is to read. Look at what is written. Look at what is written. Because that's the policy. And if they changed it, they didn't, because they themselves said they've done it for PR reasons. They say it themselves. Look at the documents they gave the murderer that came to Israel. Read what it says, not what they say, nothing. Just read what the instruction is. Read it. Don't listen. Read. And if you support it, even God will not help you.
Yeah, and not only even, and as I said earlier, it's not that even God will not help you. It will happen to you. It's just a matter of time. It will happen to you. They are not done with
Imagine
Israel.
that you are in England. Imagine that you're in England and some suicide bomber come into the metro and explode himself. What do you think will happen? Do you think the English people will say, "Oh, that's normal"? And then a week later, another one. And 2 days later, another one. In Israel, it was in average twice per week that they exploded a bus or a party or a restaurant with innocent people. Twice per week average for years. Who can do that? Never mind that the Israeli people are strong and can take it, but which mind can do that? Which mother send her child to explode himself? If you have any question of the sanity of those people, wake up, they're insane. Who does something like that against innocent people? If you send it against soldiers, you know what? Maybe it's still cuckoo, but fine.
Yeah. There's
But
a,
who
there's
can
a
do that?
shred of logic in that case.
Think about the kamikaze, the Japanese kamikaze. Everyone thought that it's crazy to explode the airplane into, and this was against the army, not against citizens. Imagine the kamikaze, even the Japanese kamikaze did not go against citizens, innocent people,
Mm-hmm.
because no one doing it.
Mm-hmm.
No one doing it. The purpose to go into 22 cities just to kill citizens, to sit on the side of the road and to shoot moving people, moving cars. Just who will do that? Insanity. You have to recognize insanity when it is, because if you don't, you are insane.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot spot insanity, is because for you insanity is sane. This is insanity. It cannot be supported. And the Palestinian people are in the middle because they have the Hamas, insane organization, fighting for jihad. Fighting for jihad. Wake up. We are in 2023. Fighting for jihad. And I will not even start to talk about the Muslim brothers. Not even start talking about them.
What is, just you don't have to start talking about them, but what's the now?
It's a group of Muslims that was formed in Egypt, and they work together with the Hamas. And the idea is worse than the Hamas. Go and read the documents.
Okay. By the way, thank you, Mitch. That's totally understandable. Thank you. Ashley said, looking at this, love looking at this from this view. Monica says, eye-opening. Yeah, it really, really is. And it's a powerful message. And I think the key is actually read the data as opposed to buy into the mainstream, buy into any media or the next social media post you saw, or your friend that says free Palestine.
How do you know that someone doesn't know what he's talking about? Number one, he parrots some message. If I ask him to show me Palestine on the map, he wouldn't be able to do that, because there's no such place as Palestine on the map, by the way. There's no such place. There's Gaza, there's the West Bank. So free what? But fine. Number two, when you start to give them any kind of logic, they start to attack you personally. Any kind of logic, they start to attack you personally. And I've seen it with the posts that we've put.
Yeah, any social media post around the topic, you have people rearing their head with something.
And they attack you personally. Like they're telling you, oh, you have no brain. I've checked. I do.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So there's a lot of tension and no actual data to prove some basic logic or to calm the chaos or to understand whose side is who. So if anybody asks you about this, show them this. Even if it's just the 15-minute chapter about what Hamas believes and what Israel believes at the
Yeah.
minimum.
Just look
But
at that.
have them understand this information and then talk to them and then tell them to form an opinion.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference. Right now, people just say, I'm on this side because,
Free Palestine.
yeah,
Okay. From who? I'm not holding Palestine.
yeah,
From who? Free from who? I'm not holding Palestine. Oh, what do you mean Palestine? Just ask them, what is Palestine?
Yeah.
Give me the area that needs to be free.
yeah.
Which area you want to be free?
Hmm.
Tell me which area. When you ask them free Palestine, okay, which area you want to be free? Just draw on the map.
So
Or tell me.
they'll tell you this. We don't want Israeli control on the Gaza Strip.
I'm not controlling the Gaza Strip. I'm protecting my borders.
Mhm.
I don't control the Gaza Strip. You have your own government.
Mhm.
You have your own tax. You have your own laws. You have your own judges. You have your own police. You have your own army. How do I control it? Oh, you mean don't protect yourself. That's what you mean.
Mhm. Yep. And by the way, Israel in parallel will give you free electricity, free water, and help you.
Yeah. But
Wow.
but
that's
just
an-
but just tell me, what does it mean free Palestine? How do I hold you hostage?
Mhm.
I don't want you to come into my place and kill me. Of course, yes, of course, I don't want you. Go, you go. You've got friends in Egypt, Arabs. Ask them to take you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You build tunnels in order to kidnap my people. You build. You invest billions of dollars into weapons. That's all you do, and you ask me to free Palestine? No, we need to free Israel, so I don't need to continue to protect against you.
Yeah. Mhm.
There is nothing to free. I'm not holding you.
Yeah.
It is your place. We gave it to you. We are not there. We left one sided. How can I free?
Mhm. I like that
On the
message.
other hand,
Yeah.
on the other hand, take the West Bank, where the Hamas is not there.
Mhm.
Look at the prosperity there.
Mhm.
Look at the prosperity there. Look what's happening in Gaza, and look at the West Bank.
Who's running the West Bank?
The Palestinian Authority,
Okay.
Abu Hamas,
Okay. And they are,
totally separate. They're fighting,
but they're
between
also
themselves.
fighting. But they also fight Israel. No.
No, they're not fighting Israel. They're actually in agreement with Israel, and they actually condemn these attacks.
Okay.
Yes, they want all kind of things, blah blah blah. There is a disagreement, but there is no war there.
Mhm.
Yes, any war that happened is from Hamas. Hamas put people there, so there is Hamas people
Cells. Yeah.
cells there that will fight. But but look at the difference.
Yeah. I see. Wow.
So
Okay.
let's free Israel.
Hmm. I
Free
like that. That's what I
Israel.
was going to say. I like
Free
that.
Israel from the claws of the Hamas that force me to protect myself. I don't want to live protecting myself all day long. I don't want to live in. I don't want to build a wall around me. I don't build a wall around Gaza. I build a wall around me
Hmm.
because the wall is to protect me, not to protect the Gaza.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
so if I build a wall, if in all days they build מבצר,
Like a fort.
a fort.
Yeah.
So the fort is not against the people outside.
Yeah. It's
I build the fort to protect me, not to
Yeah.
not to cage them.
yeah. Not to protect them from me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
100%.
built the wall, and they broke the wall
Yeah.
to go into my country.
Yeah.
I didn't go to their country.
Hmm.
They always start. They always attack first, and then they cry when we retaliate, and the whole stupid world say, "Oh, it's not proportional response." How do you measure this proportion? Are you stupid?
Yeah. 100%. Wow. Okay. On that note, it's a great message. I like the free Israel angle. I like understanding what Hamas stands for versus what Israel stands for. It's very clear that there's a difference. And you understand what purpose you have and align with one or the other.
Yeah. Decide, are you actually supporting insanity, or are you looking at the facts, at what's action and what's the policy, at what's the intention of the people? And if someone can tell me that he support group of 2,000 people that come to kill all the people in 22 cities, the citizens, I can show you the nearest cuckoo house.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
Thank you.
very much for tuning in.
Bye bye.
Share this. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.